Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra Unit 7.3 Notes. Today we're talking about application of polynomials involving perimeter. Our learning target today is to be able to find the perimeter of triangles, rectangles, and squares if their sides are polynomials. And remember that perimeter is the sum of all the sides of a shape or the figure. And perimeter means the outside. Okay? So the three shapes we're going to be talking about today is the square, rectangles, and then triangles. Okay? So example 1a, the perimeter of a square. Now, remember that a square, all the sides are the same. And if you notice these marks, anywhere you see those marks, it means anything with that same mark is the exact same. So if we were to write an equation for this, we would say that the perimeter equals, all four sides are the same, so I can say 4 times, what number? 32, okay? And 4 times 32 is 128 inches. Let me write that so it actually looks a little bit nicer. 128 inches, okay? Another way you can do it says, well, Mr. Grice, you said it's the sum and you multiplied. Well, yeah, I did. Another way to do that would say, well, perimeter equals 32 plus 32 plus 32 plus 32, because if we add all four sides together, you'll get your perimeter. And for this case, when you do that, exact same thing, you will get 128. But what happens if it's looks like that for 1b? Ugh. I don't want to do that. It's a quadratic binomial. That looks gross. Well, we're going to do the same thing. So perimeter equals 4 times whatever this is. So our binomial was 2w squared plus 5w. Okay, so all we do is we distribute. 4 times 2 is 8w squared plus, and distribute again. 4 times 5 is 20w. And since we don't know what w is, that's our final answer. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, let's move on to the rectangle. So remember what we said about these tick marks. Only the guys with the exact same tick marks are the same. So that means that this is 18 feet, and then with the 1, that this is 7 feet. Okay? So the two different ways you can do the perimeter is you can add up all the sides. So 18 plus 17 plus 18 plus 17, and you'll get your answer. Okay? But another way to write this is, well, how many sides of 18 do we have? 2. So we can say 2 times 18 plus 2, and that's what our other side is. Our other side is 7. 7. So do you see where those numbers came from? That's where 7 came from, and 18 is from my sides. Okay? And when we multiply those two numbers together, 2 times 18 is 36. 2 times 7 is 14. And then we get our perimeter is 50 feet. Now, looks gross, doesn't it? It's not that bad, guys. We can do the exact same thing. Remember, we have 2 of that, which is the 3x squared minus 1, and then 2 of our other side, which is x squared plus 4x plus 6. Okay, so let's distribute for both of those. When we're distributing into the blue, we get 6x squared, and 2 times 1 is minus 2, plus, distribute over here, we get 2x squared plus 8x plus 12. Okay, and now let's combine like terms. 6x squared and 2x squared are the same. So we get 8x squared plus the 8x did not have a partner. And then our other ones is the minus 2 plus 12. Minus 2 plus 12 gives us positive 10. So there we go. 8x squared plus 8x plus 10. And since we don't know what x is, that's as far as we can go. Okay? Triangles. And the same rule holds true for the triangles. If we've got the tick marks, whatever the tick marks are, if they're the exact same, it means it's the same side. So we can be like, well, it's the sum of all the sides. Okay, so it's 14 plus 14 plus 14. Or, since they're all the same, we have 3 sides that are the same, and you can just multiply it, and you'll get the same answer. And 3 times 14 is 42, and we always want to label our units. Okay? But in 3b, if we're looking at the tick marks, all the tick marks are different, so we have different sides, which means we can't do that shortcut. So when we do the perimeter here, we're going to add up all the sides. So we're going to add up the 3m, plus this, and then plus this last piece, because we want all the sides. So 3m plus 12 plus m cubed plus 6m plus m cubed plus 5m minus 1. Okay? So let's find our like terms. We have the m cubed and the m cubed. So together we have 2m cubed. What else is the same? I got 3m plus 6m plus 5m. Those are all the same. 3 plus 6 is 9, and 9 plus 5 is 14m. Okay, and the only thing that is left is our 12 minus 1, and 12 minus 1 is 11. And since we don't know what m is, that's our final answer. Okay? So the key thing here is we have to know our shapes and know that if the sides are the same, we can use multiplication. Okay? But if the sides are different for this one, we had to add them all up. Okay? So pay attention to the shapes to see if we can use shortcuts or not. All right, backside. First part says to find the perimeter of the white figure. Write your answer as a polynomial. Okay, so do we have any sides that are the same? We have 2 sides right there that are the same, and 2 right there. So we can write that the perimeter equals 2 times plus 2 times, and the blue and the pink. Okay, So we have w squared plus 4w minus 8, and then times 2w squared plus 5w. So let's go ahead and distribute. We have 2w squared. 2 times 4 is 8w minus 16. And we're combining that. 2 times 2 is 4w squared plus 10w. So let's combine our like terms. 2w squared and 4w squared gives us 6w squared. 8w and 10w gives us 18w. And then minus 16 is the only thing that's left over. Okay. Now the next one says to find the exact perimeter of the figure if w equals 2 inches. So now we're going to use that formula that we just did. We're going to use this guy and plug in. So, whoops, 6 squared plus 18. All right, and we're going to plug in a 2. Now, order of operations, or you can just plug it into your calculator. And if you're plugging it into your calculator, you have to type it in exactly how it looks. Okay, so 6 times 2 raised to the second power, or you can just hit the square button, plus 18 times 2 minus 16. Okay? And then we get that P equals 44 inches. Okay, you have to label your answers. Okay? All right, find the perimeter of the figure and to write your answer as a polynomial. So I know that we have a square because look at all my sides. All my sides are exactly the same. So I know that I have 4 of exactly the same side, which is 4x minus 4x squared minus 1. Okay, so we can distribute to get our answer. Why don't you guys go ahead and do that? Remember, you're doing 4 times 4 and then 4 times negative 1. You should be getting 16x squared minus 4. Okay? 4 times 4 and then 4 times negative 1. Okay? And now once again, find the exact perimeter if x equals 5. So now we're just going to use that formula we just did. 16 times 5 squared minus 4. Why don't you guys pause the video and see if you can figure that out? Okay, you guys should have gotten that P equals 396 feet. Like, well, Mr. Grice, how'd you get that? Well, if I plug it in exactly as I see it, that's 16 times 5 squared minus 4. Okay, and you get 396. Okay, and for A, find the perimeter of the figure. Write your answer as a polynomial. So the first thing I want to know is I want to look at my sides. And I have side A, side B, and C, but they're all different sides. So when they're all different, I'm going to write them out individually. So we have the yellow plus the pink side plus the blue side. Okay? So we have 2m plus 4, m squared plus m minus 1, and then m squared plus 6. Okay? So what I want you to do, see if you can pause the video, see if you can combine the like terms to get what our polynomial will be. Okay? Good luck. Okay, so you can kind of see everything that we got together. We got 2m squared plus 3m plus 9. In the last part, we want to find the exact perimeter when m equals 3. So all we have to do is plug in and say that m equals 3. So once again, we have to be very careful when we're plugging that in. 2 times 3 squared plus 3 times 3 plus 9. Okay, and when you get that plugged into your calculators, what do you get? You should be getting that your perimeter equals 36, and just remember that we want the units too, so that's 36 centimeters. Okay? Well guys, that's it for Algebra 1 Unit 7.3 notes. Your homework is this practice right here. So remember, pay attention to the sides, and then we've got a little bit of a review from what we've been doing so far. Okay? If you have any questions, please come find Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, that's it. Thanks for watching.